For years, Grand Theft Auto 6 was one of the most anticipated games in the world. Rockstar Games was extremely secretive about it. Fans were waiting for the smallest piece of information, a screenshot, a trailer, a character name, anything. But in September 2022, something happened that nobody was prepared for. GTA 6 was suddenly everywhere. Not because Rockstar announced it, not because Rockstar released the trailer, but because someone had allegedly broken into Rockstar's systems and stolen development footage from one of the most heavily anticipated games in gaming history. And what happened next became one of the biggest video game leaks ever. So how did it happen? Who was behind it? And how much of GTA 6 was actually exposed? Let's go back to the beginning. Before the leak, Rockstar had spent years keeping GTA 6 almost completely hidden. We knew the game was in development, but official information was extremely limited. Then, in early September 2022, an online user appeared on a popular GTA forum and claimed to have obtained early footage of Grand Theft Auto 6. At first, many people thought it was fake, and honestly, that reaction made sense. The internet is full of fake leaks. People create fake GTA screenshots all the time. Some even create entire fake trailers just to get attention. But this time, something was different. The person began posting dozens of videos showing what appeared to be an unfinished version of GTA 6. The footage looked rough. The graphics weren't finished. The animations were incomplete. Debugging information was visible on the screen. And yet, underneath all of that, it looked incredibly real. You could see characters moving around. You could see vehicles. You could see police interactions. You could see Vice City-style environments. And most importantly, the footage looked like actual development material. Then the leak exploded. Instead of one or two screenshots, the internet was suddenly flooded with footage. Dozens of clips appeared online. People downloaded them, re-uploaded them, shared them on social media. And within hours, GTA 6 was trending across the entire gaming internet. Rockstar had a massive problem. This wasn't a normal rumor. This was actual development footage being shown to millions of people before Rockstar was ready. And the situation became even more serious because the footage appeared to reveal major details about the game. Players got their first substantial look at two characters who would eventually become known as Jason and Lucia. They also got a look at the game's version of Vice City and the surrounding state of Leonida. Of course, the leaked footage represented an unfinished build. That distinction is extremely important. A video showing an early development build does not necessarily represent what the final game will look like. Games change constantly during development. Animations get replaced. Textures are improved. Lighting changes. Characters are redesigned. Entire missions can be rewritten. So while the leak revealed a huge amount about the development process, it didn't necessarily reveal the final version of GTA 6. But for Rockstar, the damage wasn't just about spoilers. It was also about security. Because the footage wasn't supposed to be public. And eventually, more details about the person behind the attack began to emerge. According to reports at the time, the hacker was associated with the group known as Lapsus Dollar. The same group had previously been linked to attacks involving major technology companies. The person responsible was reportedly a teenager. And the story became even more unbelievable because of what happened afterward. The hacker allegedly continued communicating online while the situation was developing. Eventually, law enforcement arrested a teenager in the United Kingdom in connection with cybercrime activity. The case received enormous attention because of the scale of the alleged attacks. But let's focus on what made the GTA 6 leak so shocking. Rockstar wasn't some random developer. This was Rockstar Games, the studio behind Grand Theft Auto 5. A game that became one of the biggest entertainment products in history. Rockstar had spent years protecting GTA 6 from the public. And suddenly, thousands of people were watching unfinished footage from the game. It was basically the opposite of how Rockstar wanted GTA 6 to be introduced to the world. Instead of a carefully produced trailer, instead of cinematic music, instead of a controlled announcement, people were seeing the game through raw development footage. And that's what made the leak so fascinating. You could see the game before the polish. You could see the development tools. You could see testing. You could see unfinished animations. You could see how Rockstar was actually building the world. For gamers, it was like getting a look behind the curtain. But for the developers who had spent years working on the game, it was a nightmare. Imagine spending years creating something, and then suddenly watching unfinished pieces of it spread across the internet. Millions of people were judging a game that wasn't finished. And that's exactly what happened. Some people mocked the graphics. Others said the game looked terrible. But experienced developers and gamers understood what they were looking at. They knew this wasn't the final product. It was a development build. And Rockstar eventually confirmed the incident. The company acknowledged that an unauthorized third party had illegally accessed its network and downloaded confidential information, including early development footage for the next Grand Theft Auto game. Rockstar also made it clear that the incident would not stop development. That was important, because there was another question hanging over the entire situation. Would GTA 6 be delayed? Would Rockstar restart development? Would the leak destroy the project? The answer was no. Rockstar continued working on the game. And over time, the leaked footage became less about the game's quality and more about the security failure that allowed it to happen. It also changed the way many people looked at game development. Before the leak, most players only saw the finished product. They saw trailers, screenshots, marketing videos, gameplay demonstrations. But the GTA 6 leak showed something most gamers never see. The messy middle. The unfinished world. The bugs. The placeholders. The debugging tools. The development process. And in a strange way, that made the leak historically significant. It wasn't just a GTA leak. It became a snapshot of how one of the biggest games in the world was being developed. But there was another consequence. The leak forced Rockstar to communicate with fans. For years, the company had been extremely quiet about GTA 6. Then suddenly, millions of people were discussing the game based on stolen footage. Rockstar had to acknowledge what happened. And eventually, the company returned to controlling the narrative through official announcements and trailers. Today, we know much more about GTA 6. Rockstar officially describes the game as being set in Vice City and the state of Leonida. The story follows Jason and Lucia, whose lives become connected through a criminal conspiracy. But here's the interesting part. When the official version of GTA 6 finally arrives, most players will probably forget what those early leaked videos looked like. Because the final game will be the result of years of additional development, polishing, testing, and changes. The leaked build was only a moment in time. A frozen snapshot of a game that wasn't finished. And maybe that's the biggest lesson from the entire incident. A game can look completely different during development than it does when it finally reaches players. But the GTA 6 leak also showed something else. No matter how secretive a company is, no matter how valuable the project is, no matter how much money is spent protecting it, one security failure can expose years of work in a matter of hours. Rockstar had spent years building the mystery around GTA 6. And in one weekend, the internet saw more of the game than Rockstar had officially shown. The irony is that the leak didn't destroy GTA 6. It didn't stop development. And it didn't make people lose interest. If anything, it made the anticipation even bigger. Because millions of people suddenly realized just how ambitious Rockstar's next game was. They saw the world being built. They saw the characters. They saw the technology behind the game. And they realized something very simple. GTA 6 was real. It was actually happening. The biggest game Rockstar had ever worked on wasn't just a rumor anymore. We had seen it. But we weren't supposed to. And that's what makes the GTA 6 leak one of the strangest moments in modern gaming history. A game designed to be revealed slowly was suddenly revealed all at once. And now, years later, the world is still waiting for the finished version. Not the leak build. Not the unfinished footage. Not the screenshots. The real game. The game Rockstar wanted us to see in the first place. And when GTA 6 finally launches, the leaked footage will become nothing more than a reminder of how different the beginning of a game can look from the final product. Because sometimes, the biggest gaming reveal in history isn't a reveal at all. It's a mistake.